Hi, Unfiltered podcast subreddit. Hey guys, hey. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about nothing. I believe, was Heath and Zane there when they were just laughing outside of those girls being essayed by Dom? Awesomeness TV. Oh, okay. So is this you, Alicia? Are you pulling a Remy? Because you're not disclosing properly? I don't know if there's a correlation between getting blackout drunk and Zane having liver issues. Essay for the views.
Please stand by.
That was me educating on the fact that you didn't properly disclose per FTC. That's educational. That's business education. That's advertising education. I'm going to dispute this just like I did the one with Remy. Because it was educational. I have citations to prove it's educational. And I'm probably gonna win that.
This is a public service announcement.
It's not like anybody's making money off my shit anyways. It's just you trying to kind of block me.
Please stand by.
Pointing out you doing something wrong. Oh boy, Alicia Marie. SA for the views, guys. That's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Bitches.
Culture was looking forward to a stare-off between DeMar and Drake. This is not like when Shaq and Kobe had their tiff with each other and they first came to blows with each other on Christmas Day.
Raw.
It was, and I just say it was actually quite anticlimactic in the fact that it overshadowed Vince Carter's career highlight here. You know, I just think it's one of those things that I said this is some of the complaints people have concerning the culture of Drake.
But this is what people like about Drake too.
Yes, they do.
Like
Absolutely.
if it wasn't for the XXXTentacion thing,
It's like a slow Ken doll.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the XXXTentacion thing, we would be looking at this like another Drake moment that's just
being Drake.
It's funny.
It is funny.
It makes us happy in a morbid way because it's funny to make fun of Drake's Zoolander shit. It's fun to make the laugh at.
Yeah, it is fun to make fun of him. You know why?
Type of stuff, right?
You know why? Because he's a lolcow.
Enjoy it.
He's straight up from Canada. He's a lolcow. He even gets the Jamaican patties just like Foodie.
It's so hard to be a mean girl, but he has a lot of geek moments. You know,
this was one of them.
It's lolcow at this point. Drake is a lolcow.
He looked at LeBron like a father and said, "Yes, yeah, Dad."
Straight up lolcow.
I could never let you down.
Lolcow. Lolcow.
So Drake has those moments that are just funny to us. But if it wasn't for the rumors or the allegations about the trafficking, the allegations.
I got some allegedly allegations about Drake. Hey Drake, I hear you like AI. I hear the dong is really not that long. My cousin supposedly dated Drake. The dong is really not that long. He loves AI, remember that. He loves AI. You look at that video, it doesn't look right? You know, like, you know when you look at AI videos and they're just a little off and you're like, there's something weird there. That doesn't look quite real. Go look at the dong video. Hey Drake, I hear you like AI. I hear the dong is really not that long. Hi, welcome. Yeah. Somewhere, Pac is laughing at Drake. That's your karma, Drake, for using AI Pac. The dong is really not that long. Bad winter's coming, Drake. Welcome, guys. It's Monday. So yeah, I thought I'd vlog today. I want to get back into the swing of daily vlogging. And Vlogmas is coming, but I'd like to do daily vlogging before Vlogmas, so, you know. It'll just be like Vlogmas day 1, and we'll just do Vlogmas for 25 days while trying to do daily vlogging. Like, I want to do daily vlogging. I like it. It keeps me on a schedule. It's a lot of fun. I like it. I like documenting my life and stuff, so welcome. Plus, there's always something going on, like, and I'm a homebody. I'm at home. I like having people to talk to, like you, so there we go. So, today's doctor's day. I got a phone appointment here in less than an hour on the phone, so I'm sitting here with my, try not to have anxiety, so I thought I'd watch some of Thought Crimes. If I remember, I will link their podcast on Drake and Megan Thee Stallion, their channel below, Thought Crimes. It's these people. Let me show you. They're funny. They're really funny. They're very, very smart. They know what's up when it comes to the Drake and Kendrick beef and what their community wants. They're in touch with their community. They have camaraderie. You can learn some stuff, Alicia and Remy and gang, from this. Hi. Oh, and my video I posted yesterday, I know for like Alicia and gang, they probably laugh at my numbers. But for me, this is really good. 93. And I posted that yesterday. Now, I feel like I have a core audience of like 20 views I get on every, like a core view count. Like I have a core group of people who probably watch every one of my vlogs. And so I believe that core group is like maybe around 10. I usually get about 20 views, and I'm sure some people will click into the video a couple times, you know, because some of them are long or whatever, or they just don't want to watch it at that point or whatever. But I think I get like, I think I got like 8 to 10 people, core people. And I like being able to look at my analytics and kind of like think about what kind of people are watching me so that I can give them the kind of content they want to watch. Or it gives me a better idea of like some of the things, oh, I've been talking about this. They like this. We're going to talk about this. Now, here's the thing. Just because you get a lot of views on one video, it might have just hit the algorithm and it's just auto views. You know what I mean? Like some of my videos, like it'll say, oh, such and such amount of views came from the browse feature, which is this late. Lots of my videos here in my last like 5 videos, I think, have hit the browser or the browser page for people. So a lot of times that's just auto plays. So you'll get like maybe 10, you can tell because you'll get like 10 seconds in like watch time from it. You know, and you start breaking it down and you can see how someone with maybe bigger channels like Alicia and Remy or basically Unfiltered are able to title their video in a way, and that's why we get a lot of clickbait video titles from them, is they're trying to make their content fit into the algorithm so it hits. Yeah. Just a little tidbit. Yeah, so yeah, this video, oh, and it looks like someone came over from a link, so I guess this already got posted to Patreon. Hey, basically Unfiltered Patreon. Hey, guys. Hey, Brain Rot Chat. I hear that's free. Your guys' chat over there, I saw where it said free. Is that free? Did you guys talk about that on your podcast? Did you guys talk about having a free chat? I don't know. It looks like they have a free chat, though. Like, for people who want to chat. Why not just chat in your fucking comments, guys? It's not like you get very many of them. A lot of them are bots. You can tell. So it's allegedly for educational purposes. Yeah. So Drake embarrassed the fuck out of himself by staring down D. Rosen. It's just so embarrassing. So embarrassing. And he's like being all hard. And he's like, yeah, if I ever see his flag up there, I'm going to tear that down. And it's like, Drake, you are a straight lolcow at this point. You are a lolcow. Like, it's so embarrassing. And it's like, why is it so many lolcows come out of Canada? And Drake is just proving it. Like, we can make room for you in Little Girls World. Like I said, Little Girls World is just more aesthetically pleasing. And I feel like Drake fits in because he has that influencer feel, but for music. Like, he's just been making his shit trend the last 10, 15 years. He's not actually popular. And then the fact he was on Degrassi, and a lot of that Degrassi content got dumped into YouTube 8M. So Drake, he's been artificially inflated, kind of like some of these other influencers have been artificially inflated, so yeah. I'm wearing my blue wig to my doctor's appointment. I normally don't wear wigs to my doctor's appointment because I think they'll think I'm like crazy or not taking me seriously, because that's like a thing. Today I'm just like, I don't care. It's with a neurologist. My old neurologist, she moved, so this is a new one, so yeah. First impressions, I like having blue hair. I am an artist. This is my brand. Desert Mermaid. So yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I got that appointment. And yeah, so I don't like doctor's appointment days. Like, it gives me anxiety, even though it's like, it's fine. I know it's gonna be fine. I'm fine. But because of all the shit I went through, going through the doctors, just have a physical response to going to the doctors. And I just get anxiety because of it. So, it's something that I just have to learn to manage. PTSD is not fun at all, so yeah, maybe one day I can get a service dog. That might help. Yeah. I always say that. I'm like, I'm gonna get a service dog someday. I feel like I want to get a house, though, and I need to be in a little bit better of a place, because even having a service dog is a whole thing, you know? It's, you know, you change your lifestyle around it in a way. You know, I know it's supposed to help you better your life, but you also have to go through training so you know how to handle your service dog correctly and be a good handler and things like that. So that's, you know, they usually have you go through like a camp, and then you're going back to do refreshing and stuff. I have a family member whose dog is she is a registered service dog. Like, she even has a little like license, which is funny. You know, they make it sound like you can't get service dogs licensed, and there is licensing for it. It's just not required. But there's little licenses. I think there needs to be legislation around that, because there's a lot of people who will just claim their dog's a service dog, take it in public, and then it gets in a fight and injures somebody's real service dog that they need. So it kind of ruins it for people, disabled people who actually need a service dog. You know, people who just want, as opposed to people who just want to be able to take their dog everywhere. It's kind of selfish, because real service dogs, there's a difference between a pet. Like, they're working, like, they've been trained for this. They're working. There is a difference between that type of dog and a pet. And two, like, some people don't train their dogs correctly. So that's my rant. So I'm gonna go so I can relax before this appointment. Patrick, he's off today. He went to go get us some breakfast, me some other coffee. Like, yeah, I know I'm drinking this coffee and he's getting me other coffee, but he's sweet like that. He'll go and get me coffee. I'm really lucky I have a man who will go and get me coffee like multiple times a week, because I see, like, poor Alicia, like, how excited she was to have Remy send her coffee, and it wasn't like that Remy sent her coffee. Remy just sent coffee for herself to the house. I thought that was weird. Like, if it was me and I wouldn't just send food to my friend's house. I would want to get something for everybody. Like, to me, that's weird. I would feel weird. But But then again, I have a thing about leaving people out. I don't like to leave people out because I'm always afraid of hurting someone's feelings that way. Like, because they felt like they were made invisible. Yeah, because of my own issues, probably. But, so, I was going to say something else and it just slipped my mind. Oh yeah, the coffee. And then she said her mom sent her coffee, which her mom probably saw that vlog and was like, wow, here's my single daughter, and she just wants someone to send her coffee and think of her thoughtfully like that and be like, oh, I love Alicia so much and I'm gonna surprise her with this coffee just to make her happy because that'll make me happy. There's a difference between that and Remy doing things for Alicia because she wants Alicia to be attached to her. Do you see what I mean? Like, you can do things like that for people so that later on when you make backhanded comments, passive-aggressive comments, or embarrass them on a podcast, they go, well, maybe this person really didn't mean to make these mean girl comments at me. Oh, there's Patrick. Maybe this person didn't mean to make mean girl comments at me because, well, they always buy me new purses and take me on spa days and buy me shit. There's a difference between someone just doing something for you because they care about you and want you to succeed, and that would make them happy to see you succeed without any attachments. There's a difference between that and someone who does something because they want you attached to them, like Foodie does. Like Foodie used to give Nodder money, and she's done that with Sala. You know, like, she uses her money and as a way to attach men to her or make men love her, which they don't love her. Like, that's not going to make someone love you by gifting them or doing all these, you know, grand gestures. I think that's what they call it, grand gestures. So anyways, my breakfast is here and I'm going to eat before my appointment. So, yeah. Anyways, so, doctors, Monday. Hey, so, had my appointment, went well. Catching up on Delphi, they had a neuropsychologist on today. Interesting, right? I guess the neuropsychologist testified that Richard Allen has some dependent disorder, and so that's why he freaked out in prison. I don't know. I don't know enough. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just me. Just me without degrees. So, yeah. What I did want to talk about, though, is that you guys have heard me talk about before this 20-year nostalgia loop theory, and it's not my theory. I learned it from a YouTuber called, sorry, I got like an itch on my back. Do you ever get an itch on your back and you're just like, yeah, me right now. So, his name is C.W. Chanter. His name is C.W. Chanter, and he has this theory called the 20-year nostalgia loop. And it's that every 20 years you can predict events because, or certain like trends, because it happens in a cyclic type loop. Like, excuse me. So for example, 9/11 was 2001. I kind of knew the pandemic was coming because we had this, in 2001 we had 9/11. It changed our economy a lot and changed a lot of our daily life and what we do. So I kind of had this feeling like what happened in the early 2000s was going to recycle again based off of this nostalgia loop. This is also why you'll see them remake a lot of movies and stuff. Happens about every 20 years. They're trying to do it now every 10 because in Hollywood, because of investing and stuff, they have a better return on investment when it comes to like IPs that are already proven to have a fan base type deal, type moment. So The other theory behind this nostalgia loop is that... Sorry, I got crumbs in my mouth from eating chips again, too. I got coffee. So, this, kids mature by the time they're like 18 to 20, right? And so, that's when, you know, you start becoming an adult and looking back on your childhood, becoming nostalgic. So, they'll bring back a lot of things from people's childhood because they know they will buy it and shit like that, right? I got the itchy nose. I'm a fucking mess today. So, this case, Delphi, there's certain crimes I've noticed that also run on loops as well. And you'll see that happen. So, one of the biggest cases that happened 20 years ago where they didn't handle the crime scene right, like Delphi, it's coming out that it sounds like they didn't handle it right and they didn't have the FBI involved like they should have for a high profile case like this, is what a lot of experts are saying about the Delphi case now. And so this case in the 90s was similar. It wasn't handled right. At first it was looked at as like a missing child kidnapping, and then they found, I'm talking about JonBenet Ramsey. And there was a lot of push for this like secret grand jury and stuff to indict the parents, and it never happened. But there was always this question, and still is, about who killed JonBenet Ramsey, who unalived her. Was it her brother? Who was it? We don't know. Was it an outside intruder? The DNA was messed up. There was some DNA that wasn't tested till later, and DNA that they could run through a database now, but kind of just refused to because they don't want to use up the sample, which is happening in Delphi. There's a sample they don't want to use up. There was DNA that was not tested until the court case started. There were people who weren't investigated that probably should have. The scene wasn't secured correctly. They were all searching for the girls like they were searching for JonBenet. It's... The other thing, too, that's creepy is I believe, too, that sometimes in life, like, you will see answers when you look back on certain things, and you'll be like, wow, it's like we were being slapped in the face with the answer, but we didn't see it. This case, because of what they did with that video, the down the hill video, they used a program back, and this was around the time AI was coming out, to help them enhance this video, which what AI does, it takes data sets of already known images, and it takes what is more likely to fit in the gaps of the missing audio or frames, and it'll add it in. So parts of the video and audio we're hearing from the down the hill bridge guy thing is not from that video. It is from this data set, and it was just taken to fill it in so they can enhance the video and see what could have been there. Doesn't mean that's what was there. It could have been what was there to help them maybe have a lead. It's not something that should be standing up in court. And this is something that I've talked about in the past. There's this Algorithmic Justice League. They have a YouTube channel, and they're run by a bunch of people who used to work at Google and who have gone to testify in some court cases about programs like this and how they're not accurate. They're not an accurate representation of what happened. They're just filling in gaps with information they got from ImageNet Amazon Mechanical Turks. We talked about that, the cat data set. That was also found to be racist. They're using that to power these programs, to fill in the gaps for Bridge Guy. So as soon as they came out with this video, down the hill was when this case went down the hill. Do you see what I'm saying? We had the Down the Hill podcast, Down the Hill, and everybody was just repeating this audio and who could have this been? Guess what, guys? This went down the hill as soon as you released the audio down the hill. It was like you spoke it into existence that this case was going down the hill. Or it was like a warning that going down this road or going down the hill was going to make your case go downhill. Do you see what I'm saying there? You see these odd things and you're like, that's weird. What? So, I wanted to share that, but if this case is found not guilty, it is not because we could have foreshadowed this from JonBenet. If people learn from their mistakes, these cyclic patterns don't repeat. It's kind of like what I've been talking about with Alicia and Remy, and then we see it over with Foodie Beauty and Amberlynn for sure, that they have cycles. But can you see how, like, JonBenet, different jurisdiction, different state, Colorado, Boulder, how those investigators didn't secure a scene right, didn't investigate it right, didn't want outside help because of egos. Doug Carter in Delphi, the one who said, oh, we don't need the FBI anymore, even though this is still unsolved almost like a few years later. No big deal. No big deal that there's a child unaliver out there. We don't care. I know you're out there. I know you're out there. We see you. We see you. Doug Carter, how did that work out? You were bluffing, man, and it did not work. That shit saying, I see you. We know you're standing out there like the Golden State Unaliver. You didn't learn from that either, Doug Carter. If Doug Carter had looked around at other cases and learned from their mistakes, he might not have made this mistake in his town, in his jurisdiction. That's why it's important to look around and learn from the mistakes of others and realize you're human, and if you see other people fail at something time and time again by doing certain activities or whatever, it's more than likely you're going to fail at it as well. There's a reason why you should listen to your elders, because, oh, that's my mother, one of my elders, because they know things. Sometimes you don't experience Trump's education. You know, like I said, there's a lot of people who got successful in their early 20s who think that means they know more than older people. Alicia and Remy, Zane and Heath, David Dobrik. But do they actually know more? See what my mom must say. Oh, she wanted to know how my day is going. It's going good. It's going very good. My psychiatrist said that it sounds like I'm doing great. Yes. So, yeah. And I don't have to do, I think I was telling you guys I might have to go in for an appointment. I don't have to go in for like an in-person appointment because I'm doing so well. So, yeah, she was just, and I was talking to her about like my art. And last night I was working on music loops for a little bit. And I was telling her how much I really enjoy music as like a therapeutic thing, like just getting into GarageBand and then learning how to make, how music theory works and stuff, and how I've really enjoyed that. And I really suggest to people, like, even as you're getting older, learning new things. It's so good for your brain, and it makes you feel good. It's good for your self-esteem. There's my mommy again. Oh, let's see what she's saying. She says, good. I'm gonna heart that. If I can do it. Ah, heart. Bloop. Okay. So, it's good for you. It's good for you to be learning and stuff, and it's good for your self-esteem. Like I said, I had that project I did, and I was able to do a accumulation of all the skills I've been learning over the last 4 years with Premiere Pro, Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop. Because of all that too, it made it easier for me to learn OBS and how to make overlays and all that stuff for us to do live streaming. Like, I made us an intro video that I have music on that I made myself. Like, my intro music, that I made that, you know? So, pretty proud of myself, you know, how far I've come creatively and the skills I've learned to help that. And, I feel like I've accomplished a lot here recently, and it's mainly, like, you know how, like, when people lose weight, they say, like, non-scale victories, where, like, you go down a pant size, but your weight didn't really change type deal, type moment? Amberlynn. Foodie beauty. But I feel that way about what I'm doing here, like on YouTube and Desert Mermaid, and like, I don't make any money at any of this. My channel is still very small, and I might get a subscriber here and there, but not too many new ones. Which, if you guys are, any of you new, hey guys, what's up? And welcome to my crazy life. So anyways, yeah, back to, so yeah, I still feel like I'm accomplishing shit. Like, I don't need awards or figures and shit to feel like I'm accomplishing something right now, when I'm looking at the body of work I'm putting out and the art and how it makes me feel to be able to express myself through my art and be creative. And shit, I'm designing my own t-shirts to wear and clothes and developing a style and all this stuff, and it feels good. It feels good to find who you are, be comfortable with it, and feel like you're accomplishing things that aren't based around money or numbers or subscribers or anything that is something that someone can take away from you. Like, nobody can take away the art skills I've learned. Like, I've always said this, like, a lot of people will have this rhetoric here on social media that it's better to be an influencer or do something on social media as opposed to go to college and get a degree. Because you have to pay so much in school loans, and people have student loans and all this school loan debt. And it doesn't make sense, because you can go on social media and sometimes you can make more money than that degree. Student loan debt is not the same as other forms of debt. Yes, you can't file bankruptcy on that kind of debt, but they can't repossess your degree from you. There are doctors, successful doctors, and the way they set up their finances and run it through like their spouse, they have it so it makes it look like they make no money. So they don't have to pay back student loans, which is shitty. And they are still practicing as doctors. They haven't revoked their medical license. They're still licensed under the government as doctors. They still have their degree, but they're not paying on their loans. They're defaulting to the point where they're running finances through their wife so that they can have money. So that's how they make their money. I know, really fishy, really scummy, right? But people find loopholes like this all the time like that. And so, I know, it's really, that's really an extreme case. But that happens. I've heard of that. I was on a TV show once. I think CSI did something or something where, like, the husband did something and then they found out his financials were all being run and he owned all this, like, student loan debt and shit. But, yeah, they can't repossess your degree. Like, they can repossess a car, or they can kick you out of your, well, there's certain bankruptcy laws and stuff around being kicked out of a house. But, you know, like, it's not the same as having a car repossessed, or having to, you know, having shit taken from you. You can't take away the stuff you learned in your head. And that goes for, like, if you're learning a skill, just like me with Adobe and stuff. That skill's in my head. They can't take that from me. It's there, unless, you know, like I get a TBI or something like that. But they can't take that from me, so. That's my rant. Like I said, if the Delphi case is found not guilty, I'm calling it now. 20-year nostalgia loop. Raw. Raw. Look at my hair. So yes, thought I'd update the vlog. Patrick's going to bed. My mom's asleep. I'm camping out in the living room like usual. I'm gonna be up late tonight, probably storming like usual. Anyways, check this shit out. I don't know if you can see it. Focus. Raw. 408 views on the last video. Uh-oh. So yeah, I have been doing research for the next stream. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back, and since we talk about Remy and Alicia, we're gonna go back and see when they started becoming like this. And Patrick's probably like, who's she talking to? And I'm like, the camera, because I'm vlogging. That's not a pew-pew, that's the air freshener. Caught my hair from being under the wig. So anyway, I think what we'll do to make it educational is what comes to mind, and what a lot of people talk about on the Reddit is their relationship toxic? Because there's a lot of people who talk about Remy love bombing Alicia, and when I was doing research, a lot of things came up about how people who their love language can be like acts of service or gifts or whatever the hell, you know, like I think Alicia, or like affection or whatever, can mistake love bombing for, you know, someone actually giving a shit about them when they don't. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Some people and from what I understand, some people's love language can be a mix of things too. Like it can be like acts of service and like signs of affection, you know, like hugs and stuff like that, or you know, buying people things, stuff like that. So I thought it would be good to, like, you know, we could start off watching a vlog and then we can watch a video on one of the videos that I found. I also found a paper on Google Scholar that talks about like toxic friendship and stuff like that. So we got some stuff. Where's that paper? Love bombing, a narcissistic approach to relationship formation. So I figured, you know, we can't diagnose Alicia and Remy. We're just normal people who watch YouTube, right? But we can, you know, when these questions come up, like, is this a toxic relationship? Normally, like, people, when we start looking at things and we question it, it's usually because we've seen it in our lives. I've seen this stuff in our lives. I've been in therapy for... My therapist couldn't diagnose these people as narcissists, but I've basically been in therapy for narcissistic abuse having to do with family members. So, stuff like that. So, those people aren't in my life anymore, but my therapist said we can't diagnose them. We just know they're not good people. That's it. So, even though we can maybe look out for signs, or sometimes people can, like I said, confuse acts of service or love bombing for acts of service, or you know, someone caring or giving a shit, or Foodie Beauty, for instance. She said Nodder liked her because she would pay his, you know, bills and stuff every month, right? And that he had to have been in love with her or something. And we know that wasn't true. Nodder was just using her. So, you get what I'm saying, right? Right. My hair is a mess. I keep wanting to look at it, but then not look at it. And then my nose gets sensitive too, so. But I'm trying not to, like, do that, like, because it looks like I'm, like, digging for buried treasure, even though I'm, like, just, I get an itchy nose. It's like, I get a piece of fluff, and I'm like, but yeah. So, I think, you know, like, yeah, we're not going to use this to say this is what's going on here in this friendship, but because it's the topic that's come up, and as human beings, you know, we question the world around us so that we can learn new things. I think we could use this as a conduit to learn about toxic relationships or friendships, or to know if are we mislabeling this. We might watch some of these videos and go, you know, I don't see that. We can have a dialogue about it, and we can maybe use it to dialogue about us, you know, and if we've ever dealt with stuff like this. So yeah, just an open discussion. Like I said, toxic relationships can be friendships, they can be work, they can be a lot of things, you know, and usually they have to do with people wanting to break your boundaries down or break you down. Boundaries, right? And I think it's important for us to learn those things so we're not having people violate our boundaries, because there's a lot of ways people have their boundaries violated where it becomes abuse. So, whether it's physical, emotional, yeah, so get off my soapbox, off my rant. I gotta take some notes and shit, but I made some playlists. We got the ball rolling here. We're going somewhere, and apparently we're going somewhere with the last video, since it's got over 400 views. Like, the last time I looked at it, it had like 140 views. And I was like, oh, maybe it's almost to 200. And I look and it's like doubled. And I'm like, oh, it's getting auto-suggestion. It's hitting the algorithm. It likes that title. It really likes when people talk about basically Unfiltered. And I think it's because it's, like I said, this is how the algorithm works. It loops around. And it doesn't help that you guys are sharing my video on external sites. Because the algorithm picks that up and goes, wow, people like Desert Mermaid's content so much about basically Unfiltered that they are sharing it on external websites. Do you see how that works, Alicia, Remy, Heath, Zane, Mariah, Brain Rot Group, Paid For Group, Ollie. How many stocks do I really have in stock? Oh boy, I know what's going on here, and it's really not good for you, Alicia Marie. You might want to think that Luxor sponsorship. So, in my last video that I'm getting a fuck ton of views on, Luxor Somebody copyright claimed my video. I'm going to have to get on the computer, but it's looking like Luxor did. But they say there's no impact. It's really weird. It says it's a visual. Let's see. Awesomeness TV. Oh, okay. So, is this you, Alicia? Are you pulling a Remy? Because you're not disclosing properly for the FTC, and I pointed that out with your latest sponsorship. Is that what's going on, Alicia? Are you trying to hide the fact that my camera's trying to hide me with the blur? Not focusing. Focus, camera! I'm trying to educate people. That was me educating on the fact that you didn't properly disclose per FTC. That's educational. That's business education. That's advertising education. I'm going to dispute this just like I did the one with Remy because it was educational. I have citations to prove it's educational, and I'm probably going to win that. It's not like anybody's making money off my shit anyways. It's just you trying to kind of block me. Pointing out you doing something wrong. Oh boy, Alicia Marie. I don't know. I was doing that research last night. Maybe Remy's not the toxic friend. Maybe Alicia's a toxic friend, because in going through some of that stuff, there was some things I remember her talking about on a podcast. And Alicia's someone I've been watching for like a fucking long time, and you guys have too. And she's talked about, she gets embarrassed easily, she's worried about being canceled, she's worried about people hating on her. But instead of trying to correct those behaviors and properly disclose per the FTC and put your little like thing at the beginning of your video saying this is a paid partnership like YouTube wants you to, so that then they don't run competing ads on your channel. Do you see how this is all educational? Because this is all things you could apply and other people can apply so they don't get in trouble by the FTC. Do you see how that's transformative? Do you see how that's educational? And I probably wouldn't have been able to do any of that if you had properly disclosed. This is so interesting. So we're gonna dispute that with Awesomeness TV. I didn't know you were still with Awesomeness TV, Alicia. I knew Remy was, but I didn't know you were. This is interesting. So we are going to dispute this and see what's up, because it was educational. Like, all of this has been educational, pointing out things in business that is like business education, things you can find papers on. I've cited a paper. There is a paper that I have cited on my reaction channel that says that the more often you disclose, the better a relationship you will have with your audience, because there's a built trust. No one actually cares if you don't. People care more if you don't properly disclose than if you did. Saying this is a paid sponsorship doesn't do jack fucking shit. People aren't going to be like, oh my god, she's just selling out. No, people don't care anymore. There's a research paper from a university to prove it. If I remember, I'll link the paper below, but it's out of Google Scholar. If you properly disclose, no one cares, and you don't have to worry about shit like this and having to copyright claim someone's video because you're afraid of getting in trouble for something you just can't fix. This reminds me of way, way, way back, and I bring up a lot of this, when I was in nursing school. In that culture of nursing, there and we were taught about this when I was, let me put you somewhere so I don't have to hold this shit. When I was taught that, you know, a lot of nurses will try to hide their goof ups because they're so taught you need to be perfect all the time. You can't mess up because you can unalive your patient or hurt them. And so this is very serious. And so when nurses would mess up, they would there's been studies that show that they would try to cover up their mess ups. And it would make it worse, right? But they would try to cover up their mess ups because there was this culture, overwhelming culture of having to be perfect all the time, which, I mean, rightfully so. Sorry, I was eating corn chips again. I always have crumbs in my mouth. But my cat is just like death staring at me over here. You see him? He's like, stop obsessing like the Patreon says. Just kidding. I don't even know what I was saying because that was just disturbing, my cat over there. But just disclose, baby girl. Just, it's fine. You won't get in trouble. Oh, the nursing culture. Yeah, this culture, because of the whole perfect thing, there was this need to want to conceal when you would fuck up. So I feel like this is kind of what's going on with Alicia and Remy and some of these influencers. Instead of having the humility and humbling themselves and saying, yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, that wasn't a good thing to do. Yeah, I should be properly disclosing. Thank you for pointing this out to me. Thank God my subscribers or people who watch me give a shit to tell me, because I could have gotten in trouble and had to pay out a ton of money. Sometimes people don't say things because they hate you. They say it because they care about you. And I feel like Alicia's one of those people where she wants to act like, you know, the only way to get through her is to be calm and nice and sweet. And really, that's not work. She cycles around all the time. Like Amberlynn and Foodie Beauty. You know, this whole poor me. It's so hard. My mental health. Struggle bus. Blah, blah, blah. It's so hard being perfect all the time. And then having her audience and everybody come to the rescue. No, Alicia, you're perfect. You work so hard. You're so great. Blah, blah, blah. Kind of like when Remy used to post the pictures of her crying, which is sad fishing. But then when people like me talk about our experiences with PTSD, we're told we're trauma dumping. No, it's because people who have been privileged don't want to hear about how other people have had it harder, especially when they've tried to make themselves a victim. How many times have we heard Alicia talk about her body dysmorphia and how bad she feels, but do it in a fishing for compliments kind of way? Yeah. So people are always trying to silence me. It's fine. I'm going to dispute it. I know why that came up, because it's getting views and it's hitting a nerve. I'm having people comment, which has been fun to comment back with some of them all day. Like, one person got upset and was like, if I want to pay for their Patreon, I can do that. And it's like, yeah, you can do that. Just like, if I want to have an opinion or educate people on some of the incorrect shit they say on their platforms, I can do that too. It's not against TOS. I've never criticized any of them for their way they look or who they are or things that they can't change about themselves. You can change how you disclose to the FTC. You can change how you treat your subscribers. You can change your content to make it more interesting. You can change how you use people for views. Like, How David Dobrik used those girls in the Dom video. How James Charles uses young men for his own gratification and then just goes, oops, I was desperate. Every time I pointed out something, like, I do get these people coming out of the woodwork and stuff, and it's just, I don't really care. I think it's kind of funny, but I linked my reaction channel for them. I'm sure they haven't seen that one yet. We're going to be going live on there. They can come over and they can tell me their opinions there too, and how I'm just obsessed, which me and Patrick were laughing about the obsessed comment this morning, and I'm going to make a shirt now that says obsessed, and I want to put the definition on it and make it cool or whatever. Yeah, kind of like the villain mode activated design. I want to make an obsessed one now. That sounds like a lot of fun. Today's a lazy bum kind of day, but desertmermaid.com, that's my business, which is implied that since it's my business, I make money off of it. Right? See how that works, Alicia? Just like when you had Parallel, everybody, it was assumed you made money from it because you were the owner. Like, it's not assumed that you're making money when you're showing us Lexar, especially since you pointed it out first and said, I got this, blah, 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 I use this, then mention it's from PR, then mention the sponsorship without disclosing properly or putting the paid promotion at the front. And then coming over when someone points that out and how to correct that and how to properly disclose and educate people on it, you go over and you claim their video or have your multi-channel network do that, which, I mean, Awesomeness TV, like, they just take your money. They're just taking your money. Like, come on. They're just using you. I know you think, like, they get you all these connections and stuff, but, like, has it really helped you? Like, your channel, like, your subs are going down. There's, I don't know, there's just no, there's a lack of creativeness. There's just a lot of trend chasing and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know what's going with that. But anyways, enough obsessing. What else is going on the YouTubes today? Besides claiming, we'll get to that later. I'll do that later. It's not a big deal. It's not like I'm making money. Yes, so what's going on the YouTubes? Delphi, another day in the life over in Delphi. Foodie Beauty, yes. Foodie Beauty, supposedly Sala was caught cheating on her again. I really hope our queen goes home to Canada. That would be great. Returns home to the homeland for winter. I said bad winter's coming. Maybe that's where Foodie needs to go. It's Canada. It's cold. Let's see. Delphi. Drake. The dong ain't long, Drake. Cousin says so. Ah, it's so embarrassing. Yeah, I know too many people. I know too many people, you know. That's what's good about, like, you know, trying to be extroverted. Like, I used to not be as outgoing as I was until after I met Patrick. And then I learned a lot of people are just really nice and stuff. And it's good to just talk to people because you never know who you're gonna meet. You never know who you'll meet. And so that's why you should talk to anybody, not just, like, freaking people when you are networking at an influencer event. Like, anywhere. You never know who you're going to meet. Sometimes the important people don't go to those parties. Oh, my thing's going to die anyways. So, yeah. We'll catch up later. I got to charge this battery. And we're going to get on the computer and stuff. But, yeah. Obsessed. Obsessed.
Cause we're just out here to have fun, so let's get some. Yeah.
Copyright strike gone. Oh wait, I have to get a new battery. My allergies are kicking my behind today. Oh my god, they're so bad. They're scalping and stuff around here, so I've been working on art this afternoon. I don't know, I just felt like working on my new t-shirt design, so I came up with, you know, what I'm gonna put on there and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to update you guys a little about that. Patrick should be calling soon, so yeah. Frank, did you vote? Oh wait, you're a cat. Did you vote? I already did my mail a while ago, but yeah. Today's voting day and everybody's live streaming about it. Gotta get that AdSense, I guess. I basically, or Unfiltered podcast subreddit. Hey guys, hey. So we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about nothing for 15 minutes. Do you hear my train? Incoming. That is the train that is incoming to smash away your guys' frilly bows and nothingness, okay? Some of the things I've been saying. 1, I didn't like that your little boys that you like, Heath and Zane, support someone who literally almost unalived their friend into a excavator. And I believe, was Heath and Zane there when they were just laughing outside of those girls being essayed by Dom? Was that happening there? Getting blackout drunk and acting like that's normal and promoting bad health practices. I don't know if there's a correlation between getting blackout drunk and Zane having liver issues. I know he says it's from the protein, but if you go and do some like actual like studies on like Google Scholar and educate yourself, it'll let you know that what he's talking about is either from eating a high-fat diet or drinking. Do with that information as you will. What is the other thing? Remy taking PPP loans, in my opinion, makes her look bad as an influencer, because during that period of time, her channel grew. Like, she had Lana Del Rey watching her. She had famous people watching her. Her channel grew during that period of time, during when everybody had to stay at home because of, you know, the panty and stuff. Her channel grew, and she took out about $50,000 in PPP loans that were forgiven. And her channel grew, and she got extra views. YouTubers were getting paid more because everybody was at home watching. Let's see. Not properly disclosing per the FTC. That's not an opinion. That's just a fact. That's a fact that they're not properly disclosing. You got to put paid partnerships and all this crap at the beginning. You have to properly label it in your description, and nobody's doing that. Nobody is freaking doing that. Where's my Diet Coke? Nobody's doing that. What else? Opinions is like me thinking that Remy and Alicia's relationships have become toxic. Opinion of that Alicia, that's not a pew-pew, that's my air freshener, that Alicia, since becoming friends with Remy, has had her career gone downhill. She's lost subscribers, and we see her more, she says it's her being real and honest, but it's her just disassociating with alcohol. She even said the other day, like, she disassociates. Getting blackout drunk and making it for content, into content. Opinion is the whole Patreon, that I think that honestly, and really I think it's a fact if you run the numbers, that if they were to put out extra vlog content related to basically Unfiltered on each 4 of their channels, they would make more money. Because when I worked out the numbers, I mean, they're making okay money, but from what I understand, I think they're making like anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month, each of them, before taxes. This is before taxes, on their portion per month of the Patreon. I don't know what Heath and Zane make on that, but that's what They could have done YouTube memberships. I think, too, I calculated the base. I did the whole, like, you know, when we did girl math over, or woman's math, and educated Alicia on how you can do real woman's math on my reaction channel. I could link that for you guys in my comments, like I linked my channel last time for you guys. If you want to hear me ramble over there for like an hour about atmosphere modeling and why was someone who subscriber is predominantly female. Yes, women are into cars. I am. But for the most part, who in Alicia's audience has the money to buy a Porsche? Or to buy a new fancy Porsche that is like the new fancy Porsche that we're going to see people who have money buying? Who is she actually selling to? Go watch over on my channel, my reaction channel, where I will be live streaming. You guys don't have to watch me. But you guys are so interested. Someone's posting about me to the Reddit. Which look, that Reddit account's only been around for like a year. See, unlike Heath, Zane, Alicia, and Remy, well, which this is opinion too, is I don't think they ever look in to see what kind of people are watching them. Maybe like statistics like ages and whether it's male, female, and maybe languages a little bit, but they don't actually know who their subscribers are. Because I think if Alicia understood who her subscribers are, they would have realized, she would have realized, nobody wanted this podcast. Like you guys even said on your Reddit, they're like micro podcasters. The reason why I've been talking and saying all this stuff, not only because I'm bored and I like to gossip while I'm working on art, which I'm working on art for my new t-shirt. It's gonna be good. See, I don't just obsess about them all day. Sometimes I just sit here and obsess about my art, see? I made a blanket that's going to go on a sweater hoodie. I already got a t-shirt up on my website. They have one hoodie of them drunk. Opinion, I think they could have made a better hoodie. I saw some of you all, you Unfiltered, who are crossovers to basically Unfiltered, saying that you would have loved to have a black hoodie with the basically Unfiltered, but made it look like it was the duct tape or the thing over it. They could have done that with the DTF printing, the digital transfer film. They could have done that. They're just opinions and ideas that are being given, you know, in the hopes that some of these people sometimes will listen, because I used to be a subscriber of Alicia. I used to like basically pretty basic. I liked basically, well, I wanted to like basically Unfiltered, let's be real, if you go look back. But I didn't like them supporting James Charles, who did a video apologizing to his victims, said, "My victims, I apologize." Who hang with David Dobrik. SA for the views. SA for the fucking views, guys. That's not an opinion, that's a fucking fact. I say these things because I am a little bit older, and yeah, I don't have money like all of them do, but it doesn't mean I don't have more wisdom and life experience than they do. Because with that logic, most of their audience doesn't know shit compared to them. And in my opinion, that falls under being elitist. I don't like it. And I don't like that. If I'm disappointed in a creator and I want to make a video that's an hour, I can do that. I see other creators do it all the time, which you're probably going to be like, yeah, I don't like them either. So, you don't have to watch me. You have to post me in your Reddit, which is actually helping me in the YouTube algorithm, which I'll educate you here on a second. So, one of the things that helps with the algorithm is the algorithm, because it's AI and it has a system of like, it assigns values to different actions, like how your engagement, right? But what kind of engagement? Well, some of y'all came over and commented on my latest vlog. That's a form of engagement. That gave me points. One of the things that'll give you kudo points, lots and lots and lots of points, lots of AI points. The algorithm just loves it when people do this. They just love to recommend a channel over and over again, and all the videos that have hit before over and over again, because people are searching that YouTube channel. That's a fact. That is a fact. So thank you for helping me get my channel up in the algorithm. Me, who's so boring and just talks about nothing for hours on end. Hours on end. I talk about nothing. I agree. That is true. That's why I vlog it. Because I talk a lot. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot to say. One of the other things I say is that there's a lot of people who live on Earth. There's 8 billion of us. According to YouTube, or not YouTube, Alphabet, in their latest quarterly earning report, I listen to those. I like to talk about those on my channel too as well. And I'm going to be talking about them on my live streams as an educational thing to, like, I think it's important because, you know, Alicia and Remy and Zane, and, well, not Zane and Heath so much, but Alicia and Remy, who I mainly talk about. Because they remind me of other YouTubers that get reacted to. Where was I going with this? Like I said, I talk a lot and my thoughts go out of my head. Let me take a sip. Sometimes when you have like a brain fart or like that, you just need a minute. But you guys don't mind, right? You guys already know. I just talk and talk and talk. 15 minutes of nothing. Okay, they're YouTubers, right? So, because they like talk a lot about YouTube and being YouTubers and social media, I think it's good to educate ourselves about some of the things they're saying or talking about. Because one thing I've encountered watching a lot of YouTube over the past decade, being disabled at home with chronic pain and a brain tumor, is that a lot of YouTubers will say the same rhetoric about like, oh, you just need to get more than this amount of views or this amount of watch time and your videos will hit the algorithm, and it's a little more complicated than that. Like I said, because you guys are searching out my channel right now and watching my content as T, you're helping me in the algorithm. So it can be multiple things, like also like sharing a video to another website. Like I saw in my analytics, it telling me my videos, my last vlog was shared, not the one before that. The vlog before that was shared to patreon.com. Shared, not uploaded, shared. There's a difference. That helps someone in the algorithm when they share that content. They uploaded it and reacted to me and it was transformative, fine. But they didn't upload my content. Somebody shared a link over there. I don't know if it was one of you guys. I don't know if it was one of them. But somebody shared my link to patreon.com. I don't have a Patreon to share links to. Who else did that? And like I said, not uploaded, shared. There's a difference. Unfiltered pod Reddit. If you guys actually listened to my entire 15 minutes of nothing, you would actually know something. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back to working on my art. Patrick's gonna be home soon from work, and we're gonna have tacos and hang out. Probably edit this hour of nothingness. I should just talk longer. This has been a little over 15 minutes. So there you go. You guys got 15 minutes of nothing dedicated to you, Unfiltered Pod Reddit. Apparently it was something, because you're talking about me. Think I might have hit a nerve. Because some of my opinions aren't actually opinions. They facts. How many stocks do I really have in stock? How many facts do I really have? Cheers, guys. Cheers, Reddit. Update time. More nothingness. So they blocked me. Too bad I can still see it. So anyways, I wanted to show you my tacos. Cause, right? Because I can still see it. Oh, they just don't want me to comment over there. Oh, they don't like Desert Mermaid correcting them because they got a fact wrong. Oh my god. It's horrible. Where's scissors? Oh my god. It's so horrible for Heath and Zane and Remy and Alicia to have people hating them. Ah! Just kidding, just kidding. That's actually scary. No, but let's see. Let's see. What that's a burrito. I had chicken street tacos. There they are. Ooh, with rice and beans. Yummy. And I got Coke. They call them the Mexican Coke. So, here. Let me show you. Make it a food vlog. Yes, look at that. I don't know if you can see because I have shit lighting. I'm not one of those. Guess they don't consider me a YouTuber or a content creator because I make no money at it. Oh, and we got chips. We got chips. Chips are good. So yeah, I just want to update you on more nothing. Welcome to another day of nothingness, my soldiers. I should start calling you guys soldiers, right? Right? Welcome. Today's a green day, because I'm green with envy over the Unfiltered podcast that I didn't watch and never will watch, because they're boring. Like, I don't know. Like, what? You guys are like, oh, she talks about nothing, blah, 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 and then posts all my shit, shares my channel and helps me, and the numbers are, I'm probably going to hit 1,000 views on that video because you guys, my cat agrees that you guys are talking about me over on Reddit and sharing my links, not uploading, links, sharing links to Patreon, your guys' brainwash chat or whatever the fuck. Anyways, so I've been obsessing over my art today. Basically Unfiltered not basically Unfiltered, that's tomorrow. Pretty Basic had their podcast come out today. I have yet to listen to that. Sometimes I've listened to it on 2x speed, but I've been listening because, like, I want to start covering some of that shit on the live stream channel. So hi, like I said, welcome. Yes, you have to wait. One of my cats has to take a liver pill in the middle of the day, and he has to take it on an empty stomach, and then he can't eat for like an hour afterwards. So they're all waiting because they're all comrades with the older cat, so they all wait I make them all wait to eat, and then I put their dry food back down. But anyway, so been working. So one of the things I like to do is when people are like, I like to be creative, and when people like what happened yesterday say something to me repeatedly, like you're obsessed, or you reach a lot, or you're reaching something I've heard a lot. And so I like to turn that into like a creative idea, because it's like funny to me. It's something everybody is saying, which maybe I am reaching because everybody's saying it. My cat might be saying I'm reaching, but whatever, wherever I'm reaching to, we're gonna reach deep inside ourselves and pull out a creative idea, because that's what I do. I'm just a creative bitch, and like I feel like yesterday they just gave me so many ideas over on the Reddit. Like I was like, I want to make that into a shirt now. So always reaching for the stars, but I'm gonna put like always really small, and it'd be like always really, no wait, that is enough, this cat. But it's always in small, and then I'm gonna put reaching in big letters, and then underneath for the stars. And then I'm gonna put like a bunch of girls, like the girls that would work at my Mermaid, like their silhouettes like reaching up, and then like this pretty like the stars. What do you think? My cat hates it. Let's go feed him, and then get some more coffee. What is it? Look at this one. What? Yeah, he wants his dry. I'll give him his dry. God. You would think he's never had dry food in his life, ever. He's never eaten ever in his entire life. Oops. Here you go, babies. Oh, my God. Even Timmy came over. Oh. Yes, Philip. Should you be up on that table? Probably not. So, yeah. The election. Well, fucking, at least it's over, right? Yeah, we're just not going to talk about that, because, yeah, as long as you guys voted yesterday in America and exercised your right to vote and stuff, I mean, politics I know can be triggering for a lot of people. Let's just talk about that for a second. I grew up with a family member that I spent a lot of time with, who was very, very, very into politics and had Fox News on 24/7 and was always finding a way to slip in politics. And it was just so suffocating. Even if you agreed with the person on something, it was still like you had to hear it forever. And, you know, they would use it as a way to act superior to you and stuff like that, because they believed their politics choices were this way, and that made them, and it was, I don't talk to that person anymore. That person's not in my life and hasn't been for over 10 fucking years, so thank God for that. But just to say, like, some people who have grown up in a family that was very, like, into politics, you know those families, right? You know what I'm talking about. Once you grow up and you get out of it, you don't want to be a part of that shit anymore. You don't even, it even ruins voting sometimes, like, because of the PTSD from having to sit there and be yelled at and barked at growing up as a teenager or as a child when you don't even have the right to vote. Like, I heard so much about voting when I was a kid, like, and all this shit and blah, 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 and it just, yeah. So for some people, that's why, like, I see a lot of people will go into chats, or, like, people just don't want to talk about politics, you know? Even if they are in a room full of people they agree with, they don't want to talk about politics. I want to know, guys, can you tell I bit my lip while sleeping last night? You know, like, I have night terrors and shit like that because I have PTSD. Yeah, from a lot of things. But I'm in therapy for it, yes. And my therapist says I'm not obsessive. And my therapist actually thinks my YouTube channel is a good thing. They actually think it's good that I have a place where I can talk about my opinions. And I can speak out when I see something that's not correct. I can educate people or point people to where they can get the correct info. So my therapist thinks that's a good thing, so. So anyways, yeah. So I got that, and then I want to do a obsessed shirt. And I think that one, underneath it would be like, I've been writing, as you guys can tell, in my notebook. That's what I do. I'll just keep rewriting the phrase or whatever over and over again until it, like, clicks. That's one of the things, too, about, like, when I was getting into music and I was learning about, like, well, how do rappers rap? And how do they do that over music? And how do they do lyrics and stuff, which... wow, that's a talent. That is a fucking talent, to be so talented with lyrics, and then to have something, to sing something, have it sound good, or rap something, have it sound good, but also, I don't know about you guys, but like when I listen to music, I almost don't like it when it's quite literal, like, when it's quite a literal type translation, and I feel like, you know, like, there's a lot of songs today that are kind of like that, and that's why I kind of like Kendrick Lamar, and I liked Pac a lot, because there was a lot of things, like, it was like poetry, you know, in music, and so that's kind of my thing. So, like, I look into a lot of that stuff, because it helps me come up with things for t-shirts and stuff like that, you know. So I thought, like, obsessed, and then, like, make it like I define the word. And so I put obsessed, a word used by basic people to describe those that are creative and dedicated. Or maybe being dedicated to being creative. No, creative and dedicated to their craft. I don't know. See, I'm working with that one, but always reaching for the stars felt like a good one too. So that's what, I'm still working on that. See, I don't just sit around all day obsessing over, God, what is their little girl's world? That's funny. I think it's funny. So, what else is going on besides election? Been listening to Kendrick Lamar's We're Gonna Be Alright. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Get it, get it, get it. So anyways. Delphi, they rested today. The defense rested, so they're doing any of the state's rebuttals, and then it's closing arguments, and then we go to the jury. Like I said, you guys, if it's not guilty, he goes free, or it's like a hung jury or something, I don't think it'll ever get solved, and it'll be like John Benet Ramsey was. We'll all sit around for the next 20 fucking 30 fucking years talking about all the evidence and all the fuck ups and all what this could have been and stuff, and maybe by then we'll understand how the fucking phone thing, how the phones work. So let's see what's going on here. Yeah. People covering Delphi. There's a fire in Ventura. Shit. Careful, guys out there. Shit. Trisha Paytas yesterday was talking about Heath and Zane going to the 17 door. I got recommended a video from people who went last year, and about them being essayed. Yeah, I agree. That was totally fucked what happened to Zane and Heath when they walked into that room. That was really, really fucked up. I would have called the guy right out on it. I would have turned around right after Zane got zapped. I would not have stood there. Like, Zane was in shock. I could tell from when I listened to the podcast. He was in fucking shock, so that's why he wasn't able to tell Heath before Heath got zapped. But I would have stopped right there if I was in that room with them, and I would have been like, no, that is not okay. I would have been like, fuck no. I haven't signed a waiver yet. You're not, it doesn't give you, when you sign a waiver like that, you're not just signing consent. That's the thing too. We should probably talk about that and consent, because I do really, really agree that what happened was really fucked to them and not okay. And that consent is one of those things where when you consent and you sign a waiver like that, even after you sign that waiver, you still can say no afterwards. Just because you sign a consent waiver doesn't mean, okay, that's it, they can do whatever they want to you now. That's not true. And it does not give somebody the ability to break the law and be free from the law. Like, honestly, if Zane and Heath wanted to, they could go file assault charges against that guy. I'm serious. I'm fucking dead serious. Even when you hear about, you know, like, the bondage, the rap, people who are into that kind of stuff, right? People who like that, right? Well, in those worlds or those industries where people pay for services like that, you sign the waiver. But not only do you sign the waiver, you're asked a million times before, during the process, and even after, if you want to stop, if you're okay with this, if you want to keep going. And you're given safety words, not like Chantal's paper clips from Foodie Beauty, but you're given, like, so maybe that's something I should talk about for one of our first live streams. I don't know, because it's important to understand for yourself, so when you're in that situation, you don't have someone gaslighting you or taking advantage of you, or trying to manipulate you into something that you don't want to do, like Zane and Heath. Like, that was messed up. Like, and even, like, them like I said, just because you have people sign waivers doesn't mean you're free from the law. And they hadn't even signed a waiver yet, so, you know, like, people go into, like, amusement parks and stuff that have the sign saying that you could, you know, this could happen to you, but then they still end up suing, and the park still gets in trouble and shut down because they were doing things that broke the law. Go look into the little boy who was on the water slide and passed away. They got shut down. They had legal ramifications. I think one guy went to prison. And they had people walking in underneath signs that said there was a risk to your health and you could be unalived on our slides and stuff. So I think it is important conversation to, you know, about consent and everything. I just know, like, if I had kids and they became, you know, as they got older and they were old enough to understand, I would want them to understand these situations, not only because I wouldn't want my kids to be that kind of person who violates people's boundaries, but also they know when someone else is violating theirs. Because sometimes when you don't do that, or, you know, people don't know, like, they can end up in situations like this. So it's good to also reinforce those things, you know. Women, a lot of times, us as women, we're taught a lot about, like, what consent is and stuff. But men don't. Because a lot of, it's still kind of a stigma about, like, men being actually essayed or not. I'm sorry, but that was not okay what happened. What's going off over here? Yeah. So, I did not want to take a screenshot of my thing, so yeah. I know, I gotta edit this. This is probably over an hour. Sorry, soldiers! Cheers to you being a trooper, though. If you guys didn't make it, maybe I'll make you, like, a little purple heart, Medal of Honor, little purple heart to say you guys tried. You guys want purple hearts? Hey, soldiers, if you don't make it through, which they probably didn't even make it to this part, but hey guys, purple hearts at the end of the video, or whenever you guys exit, guys, let's just make purple hearts a thing now. For the soldiers watching, put purple hearts in the comments below. Hello. I know I'm outside. Yes, today is a cleanup, laundry, editing day type deal, type moment, but I want to get on here so I can finish this vlog. I got it. It's extra long, extra long, just for the Unfiltered podcast subreddit. Over an hour of nothing, talking about what your faves support and what they've done. Good times, everybody, good times, right? So, as always, I'm sending lots of love to all you guys out there. Yeah, if I remember, I will link my reaction channel below for everybody who wants to go see how I obsess over there as well. It's whatever. I think it's kind of funny, actually. I mean, I don't think they realize that, like, I kind of like it because I think it's funny, so, like, it's just snark. It's just snark. It's... Anyways, so, as always, be good, be safe, or not be good. Yeah, and remember, it's not too late to start bundling up, because as we've seen over the last maybe few days, right, because of the election, not the orange man in the White House again and stuff, you know, like, bad winter is coming, and it's never too late to start trying to bundle up and stuff. It's never too late to start, so, yes, bundle up, get ready. Getting ready. Bad winter's coming.